Hello students, this is your teacher Ed, and I would like to welcome you to Module 8 in our ESL for Work class. This will be about workers' compensation, and workers' compensation is a system where workers can get medical care and also some disability pay if they are injured at work. So there's a lot to do, and it's interesting stuff, so let's get to it. We are in our overview page of Module 8, and there's a little welcome with some workers sitting on top of the words. That's interesting. So I said we were going to do workers' compensation, and the learning objectives really reflect that. So by the end of the module, you will be able to discuss how and when to apply for workers' comp, ask and answer yes/no questions about workers' comp, and also communicate with a manager when you have issues about workers' comp. You've got a quiz, a discussion, and an assignment to do, so you have quite a lot to do. The welcome video that we're doing right now will be right here when I finish making it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at is the vocabulary of workers' compensation. And if you roll your cursor over the word, you get a little definition, or you get a booklet, you get the picture. So you should do this, and then you should listen to the video recording or audio recording of the pronunciation of the words. In the grammar, the yes/no questions we're going to be doing, and there are a couple of videos. So the first video is about action verbs and how to form yes/no questions using do and does. The second one is about how to use the verb to be. Am I studying enough? Yes, you are, or no, you aren't. So then down here it gives an explanation, written explanation of what they were talking about in the videos, and then there's some practice for you. You have to change a sentence into a question. For example, I work overtime once a week. Yes/no question. Do you work overtime once a week? So that's just a little practice in that. And now we're going to go to the slideshow video. And this is where I give you lots of information about it. It's about a 6:42, around 7-minute video. But there's a lot of information, and after you watch the video, it would be a good idea to go back to the vocabulary back in 8.2, I think it was. Yeah, there's an information page. So in addition to the slideshow video, there's just a lot of information here. It's good information. It tells you all kinds of things. So how to make a claim, how to fill out the form, lots of information. Then there's a little game down at the bottom for fun and to learn. In the next page, you get some dialogues and conversations. So you're supposed to read, listen to, and repeat the sentences. And then you're going to ask some questions about these dialogues. And then, so here's some questions. Practicing yes and no. And then down at the bottom, there's a little game. Dictation, actually. So you listen to the sentence. Do I need to fill out a form? And then if you want it to be slower, you could do the one on the right. Do I need to Okay, so you're supposed to write those words exactly. All right, so let's move on. And here's the discussion. And in the discussion, you're going to write questions about workers' comp benefits. And he looks a little bit unsure of himself. He's saying yes or no or what? Okay, so the instructions are, in the first reply by Thursday, you're going to write one or more questions about workers' comp. Your questions can be either yes/no questions or information questions. You get 3 points for every question you ask. If it's a correct question, you'll get 5 points for it. And then by Sunday, you will answer questions that you see from your classmates. You get 3 points for every question you answer, and if you answer it correctly, you get 5 points. So you can get up to 50 points for this discussion. That's a lot of asking and answering. If you need help with this, again, maybe write something in the forum or send me an inbox message. This gives you some help in how to do discussions. You can click there and get some help. Right. And that is the discussion for this week. And then you have a quiz. There are 10 questions, 2 points per question. You get 1 hour to do it. All right, and our last task is an assignment and more questions. So here, you're supposed to use your imagination. And it says you'll see 5 different answers to yes/no questions, and you have to write 2 questions for each answer, 2 correct questions. So these are the 5 answers, and you have to put in a question that makes sense with the answer. For example, if the answer is yes, it did, one possible question is, did the sun set last night at 7:40 p.m.? And the answer is, yes, it did. And number 2, did the fried chicken make you sick? The answer, yes, it did. So you have 2 questions for each answer. Go back. And as for all of our other modules, in Module 8 we have a forum where you get a chance to say what you think, ask questions. You could even put a photo in if you'd like. This is where we get together and kind of talk about things. And finally we come to our summary. You can see what we learned about. And there are more resources. There's another YouTube by teacher Kathy with ideas how to make yes/no questions in the present, past, and with modals. So this is a little bit of an advanced video for people who want to do more. All right, students, so that's about it. I want to welcome you again to Module 8, and let's have fun with it.